Thank you, Mr. Minister, for your response and for letting taxpayers know the truth about the cost of a referendum. Hearing those numbers, I'm sure taxpayers would rather have their councillors at City Hall taking actions to improve life for everyone.
The House will come to order. The Leader of the Opposition and the Premier will come to order. The Leader of the Opposition and the Premier will come to order. The Leader of the Opposition and the Premier will come to order. I was listening to the Leader of the Opposition and the Premier will come to order. Recess. I'm going to recess the House for 5 minutes. Members can take their seats. Before we resume question period, I wish to explain to the House what just happened. As far as I know, member for Mississauga East Cooksville was in the midst of a supplementary question. I was listening to it intently. Apparently something may have been said which caused grave disorder such that the Speaker felt it was necessary to recess the House. I didn't hear any of the comments that apparently were made or may or may not have been made, but I would ask the members if there are any members that would like to withdraw any unparliamentary comment. I would appreciate their willingness to do so. All right, I would ask the House for order for the remainder of question period. Member for University Rosedale.
My question is for the Premier. Why is the Premier only interested in proper public consultation when it serves his far-right extremist friends who want to drag Ontario's health curriculum back to 1998?
Premier.
For the Minister of Government and Consumer Services.
Minister of Government Services.
Thank you, Speaker. In my capacity as Government House Leader, we will be standing on Standing Order 37H. We will not be answering any questions from the official opposition until we get some kind of an apology from the member opposite who made those comments. We will no longer be answering questions from the official opposition today.
Members will take your seat. Stop the clock. Supplementary question.
This Premier has rallied on and on about the significance of public engagement, yet he refuses to let the people of Toronto make their own decision about their government. It's clear that his word means very little. He wants it when he wants to roll back the Ontario health education curriculum, but he skips it when the results could threaten his ego. If public engagement is so important to this Premier, then why is he trampling over the people of Toronto and forcing this change on them with no input whatsoever?
Speaker, the members opposite can continue to ask questions of our government, but until we get some kind of formal apology, as is our right under Standing Order 37H, which says a minister may, in his or her discretion, decline to answer questions, the government will not be answering any questions from the official opposition here this morning. There's a simple solution to this problem. Everybody makes mistakes, Mr. Speaker. All we're expecting is an apology for the member of this side of the House who asked a question earlier in question period, and we will not be answering any further questions from the members of the official opposition until that happens.
Member for Timmins.
My question is to the Premier. Does the Premier believe he can cancel question period just because he doesn't like the questions?
Government and Consumer Services.
Government House Leader.
Thank you, Speaker. In my capacity as Government House Leader, I'm taking this question. There was a very, very audible comment that came from the member who just asked that question during question period. It was mocking the member from Mississauga East Cooksville. If the member opposite, the House Leader for the official opposition, wants question period to continue, the honourable thing to do would be to stand in his place and apologize for making those comments and mocking the member from Mississauga East Cooksville.
Start the clock.
Mr. Speaker, many members on this government side clearly heard the mocking remarks that were made. We are a very proud government caucus over here of our diversity. A simple mistake was made. A mistake was made, Mr. Speaker. There's a simple solution to this. Stand in your place in the supplementary and apologize to the member from Mississauga East Cooksville.
Start the clock. Before I ask for the supplementary, I wish to inform the House, you can see that I'm wearing this earpiece. I have the volume cranked full blast, because otherwise I can't hear the person who has the floor on many exchanges. That's because of the loud voices that it seems that everyone in the House is participating. I can't hear everything that's said in the House. Government House Leader says there was an audible comment. I did not hear it. Supplementary. Member for Timmins.
Premier, I'm being accused of something, and if people know me and heard me in this House for 28 years and my constituents, that is not who I am and that's not what I say. I don't use that language. So my question is back to the Premier. Does the Premier believe in parliamentary democracy and the right of the opposition to ask questions to the government? Yes or no?
Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned off the top, after that mocking remark was made in this legislature, we'll be invoking Standing Order 37H. We will not be answering any questions from the members of the official opposition until the member opposite apologizes for those comments that was made. I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, that one thing we do have on this side of the House is respect for this institution. We have respect for this institution. We have respect for all members. We have respect for all members of this legislature, all 124 members of this legislature. We will not be mocking the members like the member of the official opposition did. We'll be standing up for the members of this legislature. It's all about respect, and we saw a lack of respect this morning during question period. That's